Hello, my name is Michael Bailey, and my book is Reality is Broken by world-famous game designer Jane McGonigal. In her book, she splits up her ideas into 3 acts, which talk about happiness in gaming, how reality is being reinvented by games, and how major games are changing our world today and for the future. There are chapters in these acts which support the big idea of the act it's in, like how a body paragraph is to the major claim. Now that we know what McGonigal wrote, we can move on to the analysis of her achievement of her purpose. But before I begin, I feel that I must ask, how are games helpful to society? The connotation of a gamer is usually a person who spends all hours of the day sitting in front of a TV screen or monitor, playing games that vary from Call of Duty to Minecraft to World of Warcraft to Madden to Mario Kart and everything in between. Though not all gamers do this. Organizations like Call of the Community, Extra Life, Child's Play Charity, and even more use gamers and games to raise money and awareness to help other organizations who need charity. So I ask again, how are games helpful to society? They are helpful because they can be used to help others. This idea, as well as the idea that reality compared to games is broken, is a major concept in McGonigal's book, where her purpose is to not only show how reality is broken, but also to show how games can change our world for the better. McGonigal uses many different strategies to show how she achieves her purpose, but 3 stick out as the main ways she does it. Her use of examples, statistics, and metaphor help her achieve her purpose. McGonigal's use of example helps her show that reality is broken and that gaming can help the future by allowing the audience to see how her claim is present in today's world. For example, at the beginning of the book, she mentions the popularity of QQ coins in China and how the People's Bank of China had to terminate it on threat of the real currency being less valuable than the coins. This example may make you ask how or why. It makes the audience think that reality is broken because a virtual meaningless currency was competing with an actual currency. It also shows that if the QQ coins became more valuable, a game currency was making the economy better, which is parallel to the idea that games are changing the world for the better. And this was only one example. Just think how McGonigal using statistics would affect these ideas. Well, congratulations, you get to. McGonigal's use of statistics also helps her show that reality is broken and that gaming can help the future by not only establishing logos for her argument, but also showing her audience how these statistics connect to our lives. We can take some stats, for example, that she also mentioned in the beginning, stating that 97% of youth play computer and video games, and that 69% of all heads of household play computer and video games. These quotes both make a major argument towards her purpose of showing that reality is broken, but support how games are helping as well. In truth, if reality is okay, then why are so many people playing video games? And based on the second statistic, it isn't just a phase that our youth is going through. And some may even argue the second statistic, saying that many parents or heads of household don't even own a console or use their PC enough to even be considered game players. Though, we must remember that gaming has a wide spectrum, beyond that of just computers and consoles. Handheld systems like the DS and Game Boy, as well as smartphones with mobile games on it, count as devices of gaming as well. And most likely, they play games on these smartphones and portable systems, according to a study by Parks Associates, stating that almost 1/3 of people in the US over the age of 13 play mobile games monthly, and the number of gamers in older demographics more than doubled since 2007. And the type of games even vary. Games like Chore Wars, a game that rewards you for doing household chores, Fold It, a game that allows you to fold proteins, which are used for scientific research, and Free Rice, a game that donates rice to hungry children for right answers to questions to math, English, and SAT prep questions, help society become better by not only helping yourself, but helping others as well. And to think that after strong arguments based on her statistics and examples were enough, that there are still more. That more is her use of metaphors. McGonigal's use of metaphor helps her show that reality is broken and that gaming can help the future by addressing action that should be taken. There are many metaphors made throughout the book, but I would like to focus on ones that stuck with me. Metaphors like, we need to start playing with the future, and we need to become like spores ourselves. Just shout at the audience, hey, we should think like this or do this. These metaphors show that we should think or do these things to be able to help change our future for the better, as well as fix our reality. You could compare it to a short-term and long-term solution to our problems today. Now, you may argue how a game like Call of Duty could be considered for playing with the future. In this case, I may agree with you on some points. Shooting a triple spin mid-air knife wallbang with a ballista and making a montage out of it may not be that beneficial, though gamers might remember strategies from certain multiplayer maps, which may be useful for military exercises that practice obtaining an objective, like intel and rescue missions, not capturing a flag. Either way, most games have at least one practical use to change our future for the better, except Techno Kitty Adventure. That game has absolutely no use for anything. Ever. Therefore, after it has all been said and done, I shall conclude that McGonagall shows how our future is broken and how gaming will change our future through her usage of examples, statistics, and metaphor. All these points show that gaming is the future of our society. So I return to the point I made earlier. How are games helpful to society? Games are taking society by storm and showing that people can make charity and assistance fun for many. So the next time you play your favorite game, whether it be a shooter, or puzzle, or strategy, or any other genre of game, just think about how that game can be helpful for our future. You may discover something that makes our world a better place.